Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Friday night, Indy night on FGM ECast. We've got a full night here for you tonight, starting out with the Pro Mazda Series. Just into qualifying here for the Pro Mazda guys, and we're going to bring up on screen for you just some qualifying information here, just so we can see what's going on. We've got Brad Klink out on track at the moment. As we've had 10, 11 cars turn up for tonight's race, so field's growing a little bit at the time. This is a brand new series, so we'll continue to grow as we prepare ourselves for our full championship starting in February next year, which will go for half the year. So what we've got here is the Pro Mazda. We are at Belle Isle, one of my favourite racetracks. It's a racetrack that I love to hate. It's extremely challenging. It's a street circuit based in the United States. It does host Indy Car Racing, and drivers are really going to have to deal with the bumpy road here, as well as obviously being a concrete chicane. So very similar in nature. If we were to compare it to something, we're going to compare it to the racetrack up in Queensland, Surfers Paradise, where we run probably a little bit like Adelaide as well, actually, as we jump on board with Jason Vincent Muscat, or the Musk Stick, as he runs around in that lovely Canon liveried Pro Mazda. So all the cars are the same here. It is open setup, however, so the drivers can tune these cars to their liking, and from that, as we see, wow, Muscat grab it inside of the corner there, and as you can see, any mistakes here, you're going to pay the penalty as he jumps the corner there and gets that done. Carl Barvik, currently second quickest man on the track, 125.23. So really looking for the drivers here. What they're going to be doing is trying to be as consistent and clean as they can. Outright lap pace not necessarily going to dictate the winner of this one, with any driver going to cop the wrath of the walls if they make any mistakes. So we've got 10-minute open qualifying here, followed by a 30-minute race. No compulsory pit stops, no compulsory tyres, as you'd expect in a 30-minute race. And then we will jump across, catch the last 10 minutes of our main category here, the Dallara IR18, same track. So again, we're running this like a race weekend where we have multiple categories racing at the same track. So effectively support categories followed by the main event. Main event, Dallara IR18, we do have a 1.5 hour race there after qualifying. So we'll catch that. 1.5 hours around here is almost akin to torture. So look for the drivers to get a little tired, and look for them to make mistakes, as we always do with that last crazy 30 minutes that happens. And Brad Klink on a flyer here, so we're just going to jump on board with him as he comes around to complete his lap. He is currently 2 purple sectors up, trying to improve on his best of a 125.36 as we look at him coming down the back straight there and around to complete his lap. and he goes top with a 1:24.68. So a great lap there from Brad Klink to get himself up into the top step of the podium at the moment. Brad actually doing the double duties here tonight. He's one of the brave drivers who is jumping into both categories. So what we're trying to do here with this one is to get the structure of teams, and Brad has bought into that with Carl Barvik as well, running that Redback race team liveried. That Redback race team. I'll put my teeth in. Bow Repairs liveried Pro Mazda there, and then Brad jumping up into the Dallara. So looking to really have it set up with a pro team of 2 drivers and a development driver team in these Pro Mazdas, and that series we're hoping to move globally as we jump on here with Jason Muscat as he tries to go into number 1 spot. At the moment he is just, I believe, on his outlap from the pits looking at the timing sectors, so we'll check back in with him in a minute. We've got Matty Corleone, who is in that Braun, as we called on there, Braun liveried car, our race winner actually from last week. Ron Polito joining us, the Polito Brothers Motorsport liveried Mazda. Once again, have to get used to this week not saying the car name. They're all Mazdas, they're all Pro Mazda Indy cars, so do excuse me if I do that. I'm used to commentating the GT stuff where we've got a reasonable variety of cars, but obviously this one's single make as you would expect. So Carl Barvik back out on track and just on a faster sector as well, and we've got Jason Muscat there, not able to improve on his fastest lap around here either. So we've got a couple of new drivers joining us tonight. Jeffrey Wang, welcome to the series. He has jumped across from New Zealand to join us for this race, so welcome to the series, Jeff. We appreciate your support, and yeah, we're looking forward to seeing what this one brings. So we're just on board here with Ron Polito. He has done 2 purple sectors, and something's happened there. He has actually pulled out of that lap. Jump back on board with Barvik as he has finished his lap, and Ron Polito, not sure why he disappeared there, has improved on his lap time now up into 5th place in the Polito Brothers Motorsport vehicle entry. Let's call them an entry in the Polito Brothers Motorsport entry. The curbs here are pretty unforgiving, so with these low cars as they are, unlikely to want to give them too much of a bashing, or you will pay the penalty. The corners to watch out for here, certainly turn 2 after you cross the start-finish line is definitely a place where there could be some carnage. It's an off-camber left-hander, so it does push you out wide, and if you get it wrong, you end up in the wall. Certainly down at the end of the main straight as well, you come down to a right-hander as Muscat goes faster again with a 1:24.49. He's put that one in the pits. He is just up on this man, Luke Bergens, who has also pushed his way up into the top 4 drivers. So it's going to be there's a good contest on tonight. We've got 24.4 for Muscat, followed by 24.6 for Bergens, Klink 24.6, and Barvik 24.8 with Polito just behind them with the first of the 25. So very competitive up the front of the field here. In fact, we've got a dead heat there between Matty Corleone and Ron Polito, as well as Barvik puts his car up onto the top of the timing boards now with a 1:24.06. So the challenge is laid down. We've got Bergens still out on his lap there, and he moves up into 2nd place with a 1:24.41. Muscat in the pit still, so he's put the rack in the queue, keeping the powder dry, but Klink's still on a flyer. Is he going to be able to take out pole position here? 1:24.68 he's looking to improve on. He's got a purple sector in the middle there, as you can see, and he has, what's he done there? 1:29.72. So pulling out at the end of that lap, not actually quite getting the job done. So he will not get this lap in, I don't think. We've got Polito still out on a lap there, and it looks like he has taken that one into the pits. So Barvik still doing a lap, but he is not going to need to do any better at this stage in that one. I don't think he can put that one away. So we're going to see Barvik, Bergens and Muscat as our top 3 drivers. 3 separate teams as well. Barvik in that Bow Repairs RRT car. Luke Bergens, I think, we're just running in his own team, and Vincent Muscat in the Virtual Motorsport Mentors run PM2000. So, but congratulations to Barvik on a cracking pole lap, 24.06, half a second faster than the cars behind him. So, having said that, I think this lap for Clink will count. So, we'll jump back on board with him. He's got 2 purple sectors here. We might have jumped the gun a little prematurely. He's going to get to finish this lap, actually. So, got a couple of purple sectors in a row. He's coming around now, second last corner, about to head into the last corner. Hopefully not impeded if he can be by Corleone, who looks like he's going to get out of the way. And it will be Matty Corleone's gone faster, and Brad Clink up into second position. So we actually have a RRT Bow Repairs front row lockout. Beautiful lockout there. That is fantastic for Barvik and Clink. So congratulations to those 2 drivers for the pole position and second place for their team, and a good late run there from Brad Clink under pressure to get the job done and deliver the goods. We've got a pretty strong strength of field here tonight as well. Our top 6 drivers all over 1700 I rating, so look for the competition to be fierce and fast. All right, let's bring up this grid and have a look at how they're going to line up for this race tonight. We'll just wait for the session to tick over as we look out over the track here. It's a fantastic place. It'd be a great place to go and watch the motorsport, I reckon, over in the States. They seem to do it pretty well there. So we've got Barvik from Clink, as you can see there, the top 2 drivers, less than 3/10 of a second, 3/100th of a second, I should say. Followed by Bergens, Muscat, Corleone, Polito, Hawkins, Jackson, Wang, Hodak, Patterson, and Josh Maynard rounding out the 12 drivers taking place in this second race of this series. So we'll just get them onto the grid. Brad Clink there up on screen. We're going to stick with him. So as I said, the real challenge for this track is getting through the first turn. Now we do a rolling start here. Last week, the race administrators, which is basically me, got it wrong and had a static start, which is not what we intended to do. These cars are difficult to get off the line from the stationary start. So definitely looking to the rolling start as the way to go here. Brad Clink, we're just waiting for him to jump onto the grid. Matty Corleone did let us know he was having some technical issues earlier on. That's akin to the driver getting in the car and having oil pressure issues or braking issues. So he may drop out during the race, but we hope he does not after winning the the first ever race in this series. And I'm sure those guys will want to get a photo of that, the first 1-2 on the grid for this series for Barvik and Clink. A cracking job. Alright, so we move away now under the safety car, and driver's orders here are that they must go on green. We're trying to keep the grouping close together. It's a pretty short run round to the start-finish line here. Just looking for Muscat there to move that gap up. They'll roll around here. The pit entry is on the right-hand side, so you will see our safety car peel off as it does there, and we'll get this awesome view of these cars as they roll down to the last corner, keeping the grouping nice and tight like we want to see it. And waiting for the green to go as we turn around. They're bunched up here, and we've got green, and it's go, go, go here for round 2 of the A&NZ Indy Light Series at Belle Isle. And the 2 Bow Repairs guys looking to work together a little bit here to try and make sure that they maintain those top positions. Muscat, the loser out of that, just dropping 1 place. Looking for a clean start here. Bergens, he's just run straight up the back there and caused a big, huge pile up in this one, and that is not going to go where we need it to. So what we'll do here is I think we will actually call a flag if we can. No, there's nothing that can be done about that at this stage, unfortunately. So that is not a great start there, and unfortunately not going to serve anyone very well for this race. With Bergens getting away there, but every single car getting involved, he will pull into the pit lane. If the drivers do get a fast repair here, which will help, but not unfortunately help them do too much other than try and keep going in the race. It's a disappointing start. We'll watch basically most of the field here pull into pit lane, some of them deciding to keep going, but there will be choice words after the event, I am sure, with the damage in that one. It looks like Frank Hodak there getting through without too many dramas at all. So just looking at pretty much every other car in the pits at this point in time. Vincent Muscat's managed to keep going. He got through relatively unscathed. I don't know that Polito's aware that he's actually missing his front splitter. So, but a hell of a lot of damage at the start of the race there, and a lot of the drivers will be very frustrated by that at the start. So, but we've got a race still going on as the battle here between Hodak and Vincent Muscat heats up for second and third. Polito getting a gap here of about 1.5 seconds on the rest of the pack. So just Muscat here looking to get the underpass done, and he does. Plenty of room given by Hodak there, so not much of a fight put up, but he, I think, will be quite happy to be up into third. Yeah, I don't know what says that. It's bloody annoying. It's one of the things to do with Restream updating all of our profiles, where sometimes it just doesn't update the game that we're playing. So thanks for letting me know, mate. I'll get that fixed up, because we're clearly not streaming Fall Guys. So yeah, it's just, I don't know, it just doesn't update when we update Restream. It's very frustrating. So anyway, we've got that fixed, so back on board with the race here, with probably surprised Hodak up into third. Luke Bergen's in fourth position, having done that. So basically, mate, because we stream to 5 different platforms, that's the only way we can get it done. So Bergen's there in fourth place. We've got Corleone in fifth place, who did get caught up early in that one, but it's good that he's back on deck. Jeff Wang, and look at this grouping of cars here with Wang, Clank, Jackson and Barvik all caught up. It's going to be good for us to see how far up Clink and Barvik can get after that start. They'll be disappointed with what happened at the start there, that little bit of reckless driving. So, but they will make some pace. What's the gap to the leaders there? 25 seconds. They may not get that back, unfortunately, but they will make up positions as we continue to get this series underway. Vincent Muscat here driving away into the future. So he is 25.6 last time around. He is the fastest man on the track by around 3 seconds. Yeah, we are on Facebook as well. So Facebook, YouTube, and we're also streaming to Twitter, along with Twitch, and obviously, as I said, YouTube as well. So yeah, we've got a few going there, which is why we use Restream. It's the easiest one for us to get all the streams out at the same time. Do love that livery that Muscat's running. Probably one of the most iconic liveries in motorsport. Obviously with issues with Williams now, but certainly back in the day, an extremely quick car under that paint scheme. Brad Clink here making real short work of the traffic. He's now up into fifth and does get the job done there on Wang. He is definitely trying to redress the early events of this race. As I said, he will be running a little bit later on in our Dallara category as well, so looking to get the job done. So our pole sitter Carl Barvik currently in 7th here as well. Still with a little bit of work to do to get back up. He and Clink as teammates will definitely work together to try and get this done. I've noticed here that Corleone's in pit lane, so he had an off as well, so that's going to be in for repair. Unfortunately, he's been lapped by our race leader at the moment, so we'll keep this one going. I hope we don't have the same start at the IndyCar either, as you see Muscat here coming up on the back of Jack Pattis. Joshua Maynard, my apologies, who's currently down in 8th place. So that early race incident really not helping some of our drivers too much at all. They're doing a good job just to make some room for Muscat to come through. Polito will be stoked with this, up into second place. As I said, missing that front wing. He's probably going to struggle now once Bergens and Klink get back up behind him, but at the moment he's still got a good gap of around about 8 seconds back to the third and fourth place. Mate, if there's ever going to be anyone out there who'd build a still, it'd be you, so I hope it turns out alright for you. What are you going to be streaming? So we're just watching here as Bergen's now closing down on Polito. It's about 6 seconds further down the road, but you can see the gap there. And I'm amazed that he's actually managing to keep pace with these guys with no front wing on that car, because it'll be terribly bad around here, particularly with the bumps and the sweeping left-hander at the start of the race. Start of the lap, I should say. He'll really struggle with some understeer in that one, but doing a good job. So for those just joining us now, we had a big accident at the start of this one, which basically involved every single car on the grid, bar Muscat and I think Frank Hodak getting through without any damage as well. And pretty much everyone has gone through the pits, so to get a fast repair done. Thanks for the follow there, one James, appreciate it. So what that's resulted in is our pole sitter, Carl Barvik, is now down in 6th place. Brad Klink, who was on the front row of the grid with him, is in 5th. Both drivers having been through pit lane to get their cars repaired. But they will very quickly make up time, and it won't be too long before they're up the front battling again. So the gap between them and this man, Frank Hodak, is 5 seconds or so, with Bergens having actually got in front of him there, as you can see. So Frank actually works at the Ben Motorsport Park, a fantastic development out there in very much outside of Adelaide, so about an hour outside of the main city of Adelaide, I believe Ben Motorsport Park is. So as Bergen's now up into 3rd, he will be trying to catch back up to Ron Polito, and he's not too far off. Polito actually only 2 seconds the gap there. You can see him coming up behind him, so it's going to be terribly difficult for Ron to do much in terms of defending Bergens in that car. He may be better off jumping through pit lane, because he's around 3 seconds a lap slower than the cars coming up behind him, all the way back down to Josh Maynard in 8th. There he goes, indeed. He's off into the pits, I believe. No, he's just got out of the way. No, not even that. I'm not sure what happened there. It looks like Bergens has just dropped back a little bit. Maybe he was going to run out of luck and decided that he'd better pull the pin to make sure that he didn't come through the field. No, there's Bergens there actually going through on the inside. Sorry, with the light there, they both look the same, those two cars. Obviously, the red split out the difference between them. So Polito now, Bergen's back up into 2nd place. Polito has a 15-second gap back to Brad Klink behind him. It is Jason Vincent Muscat, though, who is up in the lead of this race, comfortably 15 seconds up the road. So doing a great job there, old Musco. Also runs in our AEE series on a Thursday fortnight, so and runs in our GT E category. So doing a fair bit of racing. He's just finished setting himself up with a new rig, and got the triple monitors and everything that you need to give yourself the best chance to go fast. So we've got 17 minutes to go. This is a time certain race, so it's a 30-minute race for these guys as the support category to the main game Dallara IR18 class. We do still have capacity in both grids, so if you are looking to get into a little bit of, whether it be just a quick Friday night run, this race here only goes for a total of 50 minutes between qualifying, practice and the race itself. So you can get the job done. Starts at 7, be done by 8. Keep the missus and the kids happy. So if you're interested in joining one of our two fields, then do jump on to our website, FGMeCast.com, and you can apply to run in any of the competitions that we run. These are all prize competitions, so there is prize money for the winners, first, second and third in every category that we run. I feel like I'm working at a carnival telling you to come down, spend $3 and get some hoops that don't actually fit on the bottles you're throwing them at. But not quite. So yeah, it is a paid category. We obviously expect, as a consequence of that, the driving standard to be pretty high. So it's pretty well contested, and we've got a high strength of field here tonight too. So no different to any of the other categories that we started. So this one here, literally in its second round. So this one runs fortnightly as well, so it doesn't have to be a full-on commitment for you. And as we said, we're looking to move this one into a 5-month series next year, running from February through the middle of the year, and then we will have another series from then till the end, followed by what we're hoping to do. We're trying to tee up, thanks for the follow there, Ray Morgan, appreciate it, trying to tee up some other international events. So we're heavily working on an event run out of the States, and we've also got an event that we're planning on working through out of Malaysia, so that at the end we can run a proper world championship. So we get a couple of drivers from each of the championships, the top 4 place getters in each of the championships, and we will then run a 5-race World Series where basically we're going to run one race in each of the time zones of each of the series to keep it fair at a track obviously at a track. Those tracks will be from the main series that we run, which will all be the same, and then crown ourselves a global champion. So that's the plan for this one. So if you're interested in getting involved in that, then definitely in this pilot season's the time to sign up. We had our Australian Endurance E-Championship where we ran a similar pilot series earlier in the year, and this year the series has exploded. We've got 40. Oh no, as we see Muscat there, he's lost it. He has lost it at the first corner, and that's unfortunate for him. So he now falls out of the lead. He will do a fast repair. The drivers here are only getting one, and he will then get that car back out onto the track. So he's going to slip down the order a little bit here as he gets towed back around. We've still got Ron Polito there in now second place, driving the whole race without a front wing. Maybe the cars don't actually need them, but obviously significantly slower than the guys behind him. You see Frank Hodak dropping into pit lane as well there. I'm not sure what's happened with him. Muscat's still waiting. He's back in the pits. There is a tow truck period where they get towed back to pit lane, and that's resulted in Luke Bergens now up into first place. So Brad Klink will be trying to chase him down. I can tell you now, Brad's got the bit because he is flying, fastest man on the track at this stage as well. A full second and a half faster than the guys in front. So doing a good job to try and redress that. He'll be wanting to try and get back to the front of this race. I can tell you who else is flying is his partner in crime, Carl Barvik, who's just done the fastest lap of the race at a 24.02. So not over yet. We've got 13 and a half minutes to go, or just under 14 minutes to go, I should say. And this is not over. We'll get Klink and Barvik back up chasing Bergens, trying to take revenge. So 11 seconds now between Polito and Bergens, but we'll jump back on with Ron Polito. He's going to have a very angry Brad Klink, and you can see Klink and Barvik there in the background chasing him down, and with that missing front wing, they're going to make light work of him, unfortunately, as I think it was Brenton Hawkins off in the background there, just doing the right thing and keeping out of the way after a spin to let these guys get through and not interrupt their race. Muscat now leaves pit lane. He is still on the lead lap, but he's going to have to get his hustle on because Luke Bergen's not too far behind him. Yeah, Muscat will be kicking himself there, but he will get back around, and wouldn't surprise me if he manages to make his way back up into the top 5 in this race. So Polito and Klink there really tight. Polito trying to defend his position, but he will struggle heavily without that front wing, particularly through that fast early section of the track. And Barvik will get the draft and probably shoot out as these three go toe to toe down this front straight, or effectively the front straight of this track. And the two Beaurepaire cars getting the job done here. Barvik struggling a little bit to get it pulled up there, but doing a great job to get around, and equally Polito a good job to be aware of his surroundings with these two cars coming through. 124.4 for Klink in that last lap as well. Sorry, 125.8, a 124.4 for Barvik in that last lap. So both these guys flying, trying to make up the gap to Bergens in front of them. Thanks for the follow, Suresh, I should say. It's appreciated, mate. Hope you're enjoying the broadcast. So we're just 10 minutes to go. Klink, Bergens, Barvik still working hard to try and get themselves back up onto the back of Bergens, I should say. Fastest lap of the race, last lap around. Just trying to make sure to see how these two go, trying to catch up to Bergens after that incident on the first lap. So they'll be working together. They'll be used to driving toe to toe like this lap after lap, doing a lot of driving together as a team. I don't think there is really a night of a week that one of the RRT guys aren't running. So certainly do a lot to support the sim racing scene with their team, and they'll work hard to try and address that. Hey Stuart, I hope you're well, mate. Need to catch up with you for a virtual beer at some stage. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, Pat, it wasn't great on the first lap there. Unfortunately, you got involved in that one, so we'll have a bit of a chat about that after the race. But at the moment, we've got Luke Bergens leading this one in Motorsport by HCR. Thanks very much for the like there, Daniel, as well. Appreciate it. And obviously appreciate your participation in the series that we broadcast on FGM ECast. So unfortunately not able to do too much damage to the gap here. Half a second pulled out on the last lap. There's only 8.5 minutes to go in this one, so it's going to require a mistake from Bergens for these two to catch him for the unofficial race results at the conclusion of this one. Ron Polito doing an absolutely remarkable job. No front wing at all for that car for the entirety of the race so far, and the ability to drive around this track without any front wing at all is really a testament to his driving. So he's doing great in that car. Sharing is caring. Thanks, Daniel. We like everyone to share the race if we can. Spitty, unfortunately, it's not Quenkel Barvik, albeit they did take pole and second. An early race incident took basically 3/4 of the field out of the race and in through pit lane. So Brad and Carl are second and third at the moment, chasing down Luke Bergen. So the boys working together hard to try and get back to first place, but 14-second gap to Bergen's in front of them with 7.5 minutes to go is probably not going to happen. These two boys driving really, really well. And Brad grabbing second place on the grid, basically as the last car on the track during qualifying. Timed his run really well. Managed to string together a great lap to get himself up in the second position. So a good job from him to get up the grid. So newcomer to the series, Jeffrey Wang, he is down in 5th position at the moment. Joined the series tonight. The Colonel, as we duly dubbed him yesterday because of his little iRacing photo there, you can see him shaking a wax statue of Colonel Sanders. So nicknamed the Colonel, had a good race last night in the NZSR series over there at Monza last night, and decided to join us here tonight, so we're very appreciative of having him on the grid. Frank Kodak, as his nickname is, he does a lot of great photography out of these races as well, so he's doing a great job in 6th. He managed to keep his nose clean. He's up 2 spots, being chased down by this man, Vincent Muscat, who will be kicking himself a little bit out in the lead, and unfortunately did spin and had to make a pit stop a little bit earlier in the race, about 4 or 5 laps ago. So where was that? On lap 11, so 4 laps ago. He's chasing Frank down. 9 seconds to gap there. And again, another one where he just may not quite get the job done. Car's getting quicker and quicker. Brad Klink just doing the fastest lap of the race with a 24.04. So they're really pushing hard to address that gap. Down to 14 seconds now. But as I said, unless there is, thanks for the follow, Kendrick, but unless there is some sort of tragedy, it's going to stop Bergens from taking the provisional race results here on the top step. So as I said, at the end of this one, do hang around. We are then heading into our race for the IR18 Dallara category, the main category for our IndyCar night. So there'll be a very short intermission while we change over servers, but we will bring you the last 10 minutes or so of qualifying from that series before heading into the main race for them. And next week, we actually, not next week, this is a fortnightly series, I should say, but next week that we're racing, or in 2 weeks' time, 4th of September, we're at Pocono for the next round, so should be good. Got 3 minutes 36 to go in this one. Luke Bergen's currently out in front, 13 seconds up the road. And we've got Brad Klink and Carl Barvik in second and third. G'day Phil, thanks for joining us, mate. Let me find out for you. Phil to plenty of space, mate. Ron is going to take fourth spot in this one for sure. So Jeff Wang, 17 seconds back down the road at this stage. So Ron's done a fantastic run. No wing, as we've said, no front wing after the incident on corner 1, lap 1, or corner 2, lap 1. So he's done a fantastic job to keep that thing straight around here, and he's going to jump into the Dilara after this, I think, and give that a red hot go as well. So he's having a cracker, and as I said last week, there's a seat warm ready for you to go as well, Phil, as soon as you want to jump in, mate. I know you're waiting on new gear to get yourself into a car, but as soon as you're ready, jump into the open wheel and give it a go. So Matty Cardleone is out. Unfortunately, his equipment did give him some trouble during the race. He couldn't shift gears, so he had to bail and park that one. So that's disappointing for our race winner from last week to have that happen. So hopefully he gets that sorted before things kick underway again in a fortnight's time. So this is every fortnight we run this on a Friday night. Got plenty of racing again next week as well. We've got Super GT Thursday. NZSRs, followed by the Australian Endurance Championship on Thursday night. Wednesday we have got our third last round of the ANZ Car Grand National Series. Tuesday night, of course, our one of our favourite things to broadcast, the Oz Pro-Am Sim Series. Get a cracking grid, some really, really good racing, and looking forward to that one as well. So enduro time next weekend as well with Sebring for 981 Motorsport. So trying to sort of stagger these weeks. It's a full-on job at the moment. We've got plenty of series that we're running and lots of broadcasting that we're doing. So just trying to keep on top of it all at the moment and keep bringing the racing to. I tell you, tonight, Friday night is always the challenge. So hopefully the excitement stays up and you guys in the viewing lounge can give me some chat, give me some engagement, so that we can keep things up vibe and interesting, as they used to say in the 12th man. So this will be the last lap of this race, and as I said, the provisional results will be at this stage Bergen's from Klink to Barvik, and then we will have about a 5-minute intermission where we switch over servers and jump into the IR18 race to have a look at that one. So do stick around. We will have a small intermission. There'll be a couple of ads from some of the people that make this stream possible for us, and we'll be back with the tail end of qualifying for our main game, and then get into the race. So there it is, Bergen's bringing that one across the line, and he will take home the provisional race win here, race 2 at Belle Isle for the Indy Light Series, as we're calling it, the Indy Light Pro Mazda Series. Brad Klink, a fantastic recovery drive there to get into second place, and Carl Barvik bringing it home a little bit further behind him as well, so in third spot. So a good result from these guys to climb back up the field after that early race incident. And Ron Polito, he's going to bring home fourth spot for Polito Brothers Motorsport in that car again. Probably my driver of the race, doing that with no front cone around this place. A fantastic job. Well done to you, Ron. So as I said, we're going to flick over to an intermission now. We'll jump out of this one and get ourselves all geared up and ready to go for the next race, which will be the tail end of qualifying for our main category. So don't go anywhere. stick around and go and grab a cup of coffee or a beer or whatever it is you need to get yourself ready for the main event here on FGM ECast.
Simrigs.com is dedicated to not only supplying quality products, but also helping you achieve your potential and goals within the sim community. Race clean. This is the most important thing to progressing in any of the racing simulators out there. Be consistent and stay on your race line. Someone that is much faster will overtake you when they can. Moving off your line to get out of the way can cause more trouble than you think. Have fun. You will wreck quite a bit. Sometimes your fault, plenty of times not your fault. Learn from it. Wreck avoidance is key. Whether you're just starting out and wanting an entry grade setup, or have been in the sim scene for years and needing a well-deserved upgrade, Simrigs.com is here to help. So please don't hesitate to contact us if you have any questions. At Ferguson Group Media, we are a full-service marketing agency built for today. Day in, day out, we are about attracting attention to build brands. We believe that every business is a marketing and media business and should have access to a content creating machine. That's where we fit in. We also understand about extracting value from social media marketing and digital marketing. Video is king in producing content for your business. From it, all other forms of content can flow. We are set up to film, edit, and post-produce content at scale. This enables us to keep costs down, allowing small businesses to also access our products. Don't hesitate to reach out and chat about your content ideas. Your local digital marketing agency, Ferguson Group Media. There is an awful lot to learn, and it takes quite some time. Trying to work it all out on your own can be confusing and overwhelming. It can be super hard to get on the track, never mind being competitive. For me, I was lucky enough to get involved with a group of guys that were really fantastic and gave me a lot of knowledge and support. This helped me to progress with my skills and got me up to speed very quickly. After a solid 5 years honing my skills, I now feel I'm in a position to help others. So I'm all in on Virtual Motorsport Mentor and loving every moment. I created this platform to help drivers develop their skills and get the support and feedback they need to improve their drive lines, speed, setups, and more. My goal is to see you become the best driver you can be. The question is, how far do you want to take it? I look forward to helping you drive fast and win more. Chris, Virtual Motorsport Mentor.
Alright everyone, welcome back. Sorry about the delay there. I had to make sure that I was ready to go for this one. So we're going to bring up the grid quickly here to find out what happened during qualifying. And just waiting for this to reconnect itself here. Just hasn't quite brought itself up there, so we'll just give it another go. Just waiting to hear and see what goes on here. For some reason our timing monitor's decided that it didn't want to change over with the session. Okay, that might be a little bit better there. Let's see how that goes. Showing the right information on the screen there, so we'll just turn that one off until we can get it done. So I'm sorry that we can't tell you where in this one, and there's been more accident damage at the start of this race, and that is just terrible luck there. I think that was Clink who's had that incident at the start of this race, and that is really very frustrating for him as we get through down into the first turn, and just watching to see that everyone gets through there. So still go green with a white flag, just to let the drivers know that there could be some issues. So what I'll do here is we'll get these first few laps underway, and then we're just going to throw a quick break, try and get this thing reloaded so that we can actually see what goes on in the race for the first few laps, because at the moment there's stuff off the screen there as we try and get it working. Can't even change the driver. How frustrating. But anyway. I believe it's Chris Polito who is out, potentially out in front of this. It's difficult to tell. Yeah, it has been, Phil. It's been a very rough night for the start of these two races. It's not ideal because of the length of the races. This race going for an hour and a half, so there's plenty of time to make up time. Yeah, I think this we're on board with Lee Vandenberg, who is out in front of this race at this point in time. So, but yeah, not an ideal start at all, and I think Brad Clank will be very frustrated that his races, both races have started in the same fashion for him. Good news is this race a lot longer, so he will be able to try and bridge that gap and get back to the front of the field where his speed and pace definitely belong. So, well, this one's early. I'm just going to jump back into a quick commercial, and we will get this restarted so that we can try and bring up all the data and give you a little bit of coverage of what's going on tonight, because at this stage I can't really tell you a lot. So just bear with us. We'll do this quickly. It won't take us more than a couple of minutes at the very most. We would appreciate it if you stuck around for this race. Okay, and we're back, and this should all pick itself back up pretty quickly, so we'll have that information coming to you in a matter of seconds as it refreshes itself and gets involved in the stream. Come on, mate, get yourself back up and about. There's, what I can tell you is Lee Vandenberg is our race leader now, so we've got all the data back up. He's done a 1:15.3, followed by Daniel Yemen, who is in second spot, 15.78. Chris Purnell currently in third position in his car in a 1:15.95. We've got Julian Klein-Bussink in fourth, 16.12, and Andrew Duffy running out of top 5 with a 16.47. So just waiting for everything to reload and get itself sorted here, but we are at least getting data again now, so we can definitely let you know what's going on with things. So as we start to get things back up and running, and here we go, we've got it. Crisis averted. So Lee Vandenberg's got around a 2-second lead over Daniel Yemen behind him. The qualifying laps, fastest laps of those two drivers are almost identical. Chris Purnell as well running a good solid race at this point in time. Jump on board with Purnell in the virtual Motorsport Mentor sponsored car. A nice looking car, that, with a slightly unusual colour to what we normally see. I like it. They run it on the Porsches as well with that class. Julian Klein-Bussink right behind him here, giving him a hurry along. Now these cars do have a boost ability, so they can get a little bit of a shot of nitrous and get themselves up and about if they are trying to make a passing move, similar to the DRS that you see on the Formula One cars. So Purnell will be fully aware of the fact that Klein-Bussink is right behind him, and Andrew Duffy not too much further back down the road. G'day, John. I know it's no Corbett tonight, albeit we'd love to see him in an Indy car, and it's just Han Solo me tonight doing the commentary for you. So, but, as always, welcome to our coverage. So Chris Purnell actually was second on the grid, or was he a pole sitter? No, he's down 2 spots. So he was, I believe, our pole sitter, as we just see Reese Harnell and Carl Barvik, I believe, have had a coming together as well. I think that may well have been as a consequence of some exit. No, Carl Barvik there just having a solo car incident in the Bow Repairs car. So Brad Adlam, a new attendee to the series here, just jumping in for his first race tonight, so welcome to the series. Along with Kyle Hazel as well, jumping in that DHL livery. That's a striking looking car as well, I like that one. Michael Skurlock, another new addition to the team. Expect big things from him. He's a very quick driver in these Indy cars. And Duffy with us as well as our usual suspects. Daniel Yemen has actually got the job done there in the front of Chris Purnell. So our timing screen's actually indicating that he is in first place, but not in fact. He is currently in second position, as you can see across the top of the screen there. Oh, beautiful, Aaron. So basically, we're running 2 series here. We've got, you've just missed the Pro Mazda series that we run at 7 PM, which ends up having basically a 10-minute practice session followed by 10 minutes of qualifying before jumping into a 30-minute race. And then we move into our IR18 category, or our effectively our main category, and these guys run an hour 45 race at the same track. So we set this one up as a basically the way that you would normally have a race weekend. So we've got support categories followed by the main game, and we're running this as a little bit of a shorter series or a shorter season. I see Reese Harnell parked on the track up here. I hope that's not going to actually cause any dramas. I'll just come back to you there. And it looks like, yeah, unfortunately, we've seen a couple of cars coming together there as Reese Harnell was caught on the track. So I'm just going to have a quick look at this one. So Brad Klink, unfortunately, rather bent-looking IR18, just struggling there with some grip. I know, so it was a separate accident there, and Harnell stopped on the track, so I'm not sure why it registered an incident there, but it doesn't look like there actually was one. Yes, Aaron, there certainly is, mate. We're still trying to fill that series. So at the moment we've got, we had 15 runners last week. We've got 12 this week, with a couple of guys unfortunately pulling out at the last minute. So definitely got spots available for that one, and it is an early enough series. I'm not sure that you told us where you're based, but if you are coming to us from New Zealand, early enough that on a Friday night you'd be done by 10 o'clock. So easy for you to jump into and have a run. So basically they run that category. We run at the same track across the 2 classes. And next week we're off to Pocono for some oval track racing. So aside of the first 2 weeks, we will be alternating basically for, like they do in the Indy Car Series, where we have a circuit race followed by an oval track race all the way through. Next season, which will start in February, we're running a 5-month season, so we'll do 13 races across the 5 months. We'll follow the proper calendar, and then that will roll into a teams. We're looking for teams, if we can get it, where we've got teams of Pro Mazda drivers, teams of main game IR18 drivers, and we end up with a sort of a promotion demotion style category where you run a team of 4 drivers or 5 drivers, so you've got a substitute, and end up with drivers able to end up being promoted and demoted through the classes, in no different in the way that Formula 2 works to Formula 1, and we'll have team licenses and run it like a proper license structured series across the year. We're actually working on bringing a series out of Malaysia, or run out of Malaysia, and we've got some guys working on a series out of the States. Just looking for someone for UK Ireland and to do another series in the main or continental Europe. And then what we'll end up with is hopefully bigger picture top 4 teams in both both races, or top 4 drivers in both Pro Mazda and in IR18, will then end up participating in a global World Series where we run at 5 tracks in the 5 time zones. So we'll run one race in the Oz-New Zealand time zone, one race in the American time zone. So you'd have to get up early to run in that one, so that everyone doesn't get penalised by time zones, and then crown ourselves a World Series champion. So that's the plans for next year. So we're working hard behind the scenes to try and actually make that happen. And as I said, we're close in Malaysia to getting someone to host and run the Asia Series for us. And we've got a couple of commentators already lined up for the American Series as well. So, or Series of the Americas, as we have called it. So yeah, we're getting closer and closer towards being able to put that calendar together and make that event happen. So, really want to get teams involved where we can. 2 drivers in a team in the main game, 2 drivers in a team in the Pro Mazda. So if you're looking to join, that's the mindset of the series. So this is very much a teething series for us, running it to identify things we need to change, things we need to make better, and to help us get some basic practice under our belt in terms of how we broadcast these things. We obviously do a lot of GT broadcasting, as you know, because you follow us along. But this is the first of the Indy stuff we've broadcast. And the plan as well is that I'm actually going to run in the Pro Mazda category myself, because I love these cars. It's just obviously at the moment we need people to commentate as well. So a really long-winded answer, Aaron, but certainly able to get you into a Pro Mazda, mate. Be good if maybe you can grab another couple of the guys from across the ditch to join in. Kiwis are the fastest drivers in the world at the moment, in my opinion. So I'm not even sure you're from New Zealand, so probably going to tell me now that you're from Bankstown or something like that instead. Where are you from, Aaron? Are you from across the ditch? We're just still on board here with our race leader, Lee Vandenberg. He's opened up a gap in Sydney. Oh, so you'll be slow. Well, at least you're COVID-free, or sort of COVID-free, so definitely can represent Australia. But if you've got some mates who do open wheeler racing with you, obviously let them know, because we really want the series in Hawkesbury. Oh, beautiful part of the world. My grandparents are from Toukley, so very familiar with New South Wales, and particularly north of Sydney. So I was born in Hornsby myself. So if you do have any friends who want to get involved, if you can grab 4 of them, so we can have 2 in the main game and 2 in the support category, it'd be good. We really want teams of 5, just so if there is a vacancy, a sub driver can step in for you. So we manage to, have the grids full every week is what we're aiming for. Hence why we're going to span it out over a period of time, so that everyone's got time to plan their calendars around participating in the event. Alright, so enough about me. What about you? What are we looking here? Bring up these last lap times. It's having troubles with the intervals tonight as well. I'm not sure if there's anything going on back with the software, but we'll battle on regardless. I can certainly keep you up to date on the intervals, and I can tell you now that the battle at the moment is between Duffy and Sherlock. We've got less than half a second between these 2 new drivers to the series, and right behind them, fan favourite Ron Polito, followed by Julian Klein-Bussink and Brad Adlam. Carl Barvik's unfortunately gone off by the look of things as well, and he has he's entered the pit, so he's just doing a service on that Dallara. Kyle Hazel, Reese Harnell, and we've got Dominic Mallet as well. He's new to the series too, so welcome to the series, Dominic, and thanks for joining us this week in what looks like a Turismo blue coloured Dallara. I know there'll be plenty of people out there who would like to have a look at that one. Yeah, I did know that, Peter. I didn't get time to fix it during the week. I apologise for that. The replay audio is almost deafening, and I apologise for that. We need to re-record the overlay that we use, so that we can actually not deafen people when that happens. So I'll turn the cars up a bit. Some of it's to do with the camera that we're using as well. It's a little far away. at this particular track, so we don't get the full audio of the vehicles while they're going past. Thanks for reminding me of that one. I've got a notification to my stream review. I will get that hopefully that's better for you, Peter. Fix the issues with the cars. We'll just turn the track cam there to get that better for you and play with the button. Refrain from using that replay button so that we don't end up with that deafening sound. There's a nice strong Toledo there coming off. Listen, you can hear the cracking sound of these cars as they head around the track. Jump back on board with that race leader there to move as he about halfway through lap 15, lap 16 of this race. You can let me know, Peter, if that is a little bit better. That would be fantastic. It's a little bit hard to test these things. This one. Definitely love to have seen a few more cars out here. We've definitely got plenty enrolled in this series. So just getting our drivers used to that fortnightly schedule that we've run. Maybe playing a little bit of having into the number in the field at the moment. You see Andrew Duffy doing his pit lane transition. Chris Burnell, the race one winner here, just in third. He's about 6 seconds behind Daniel Yemen in front of him. Just trying to keep out of trouble and keep circulating. It's a long race. You really want to be in a clean position where with about half an hour to go you are able to get things going there, as there is a car off on the inside of the track there. It looked like that may have been Brad Queen, still struggling with that rear wheel damage. So for him, tonight, Quink, so I hope that this one's going to be tidier for him, as well as Carl Barber. Let's get the repairs done. No, we're just enjoying a lap on board there with Chris Burnell, so hopefully the mic hasn't gone completely silent on the screen. We're just enjoying Peter, just what Chris Burnell was doing is he was getting the work going around this track, so hopefully you can still hear me loud and clear as we jump out off the roll bar there of the Burnell car. So Ron Polito is having a few issues in this one. It's a little bit of a change because he, along with Brad Klink and Carl Barvik, have jumped across from our other race category, the support category tonight, to jump straight into this main run. So they're having to adjust braking points, and main difference with these cars as well is obviously the difference in power. So notice here as well that Lee Vandenberg is having his gap cut down a little bit here. He's down 5 seconds out from Daniel Yemen as he is on the back of Michael Sherlock. No, Ron hasn't lost his wing, mate. He's just having a couple of spins, unfortunately. As I said, I think it's part of it is the issue of him trying to adapt to driving these two different cars at the same track in succession without a warm-up or anything like that. So, yeah, just a little bit different to the race he was doing last. In fact, we'll jump on board with Ron now and just see how he is doing. You see there, the back wing of that one straight. I think he's just rotated the car a couple of times, so not doing a bad job considering he had to jump out and in. He ran a really good race last race, as you saw, so he should definitely be pleased with himself for his performance in that one. It's a really difficult track, this one. It might not look like it, but it's really bumpy, and in these cars that bottomed out, it's pretty difficult. You'll feel he's basically doing more than he does when he runs in the AEE, and you know how taxing that can be doing the 2-hour events we run there. So with this one being an hour 45, accidentally, it'll drop back to an hour and a half again next week. In fact, next week it'll be by laps because we're on an oval track. It's definitely a full schedule for one night for one driver. So he's doing a ripper job, along with Brad Klink and Carl Barvik as well, who's also doing the back-to-back races in these categories. I think what will end up happening with them is at the end of this series they'll end up deciding whether they're going to keep running in the main game or jump back into the Pro Mazda series instead for those sprint race style races rather than these longer events. I'm sure we'll be looking forward to that. How is your stuff going, Phil? Is it going to arrive soon? Are you going to give these ones a crack with Ron, or just still quite happy to sit on the sidelines and have a watch on a Friday night? As Chris Pennell has actually moved up into second place, but that is a result of pit stops with him and Lee Vandenberg having done their first pits. Andrew Duffy now in pit lane, and we've seen Michael Skurlock and Daniel Yemen also having carried out their pits stops as well. So Polito will probably be the next in his car. Just keep an eye on him to see if he is going to pull in this lap or not. Probably have crew chief in his ear saying that he's running on fumes and needs to jump into the pits. With all these cars will be on similar strategies. With the extended race time tonight at an hour 45, it actually really puts these guys into a position where they either need to conserve fuel or jump in for a 3-stop strategy. So they will need to plan that well to make sure they don't run shy at the end. So we've got Vandenberg still with a gap of around 8 seconds over Purnell. Purnell getting the extra lap on Michael Skurlock, who pitted on lap 18. And we've got Daniel Yemen and Duffy pitting on lap 21 and 22, respectively. Hour 15 to go in this one. Delivery days. I'd try the Pro Mazda. Depends on my schedule, though. Yeah, well, we'd love to have you in the Pro Mazda. We love you guys. So, unfortunately, we did see Jan Martizano pull out of the AE Series earlier this week, which is a little sad, but I'm sure you guys will hopefully get some more people to jump in and join in our series. We love having the Polito Brothers Racing team as part of the events that we run. So, Julian Klesselbank, Klein Bussink, my apologies, has had an off. He is back in the pits, repaired, and on his way back out onto the track. A lap down, unfortunately. Has also just got notification that Daniel Yemen had an off, which he has. It looks like it was just a spin. No damage to that car whatsoever, so just over-rotated down there into turn 4. And he has retained 4th position. Andrew Duffy 5th. And Michael Skurlock, new to the series, he is doing a cracking job, up into 3rd place. So I'm just doing the right thing there and getting out of the way. I've got another notification here of Andrew Duffy coming off track. So there's a spin there in front of him. Who was that? Julian Klein at Bussink again, unfortunately over-rotating there and going around on cold tyres. So not enjoying himself too much there, Klein Bussink. We've got Vandenberg still out in front. Last lap there, a 1:15. With a low 1:15, his best lap of the night. So flying around on those new tyres, he'll be trying to. Oh wow, there's a cut across there in front. That's not ideal. But Vandenberg's done the right thing there and got back around. No, Scotty doesn't run the Friday nights, Aaron. He's our Tuesday, Thursday man for now. We're still looking for extra commentators to join the team, but at this stage, no, I fly the IndyCar solo on a Friday night. It's only every second Friday night, as I do a Wednesday night when Scotty's running the A&NZ Car Series. So, yeah, which is good. But there's plenty of people in the chat, which is great to keep me company while we get through this one. Great shot there of the Vandenberg Indy while he's getting around there. These are difficult to drive as well with that halo on them. You've actually got to try and readjust the way that you look at the corners because it gets right in the way. Yeah, we're going to work on that one. We're see if we can get Corbett across and into the stream. Vandenberg heads down and around turn 2, or turn 3, I guess you'd call it. Need to get across the right-hand side of the track here and get this one turned, clear the wall. And then you've got to brake early here to get into the apex and get on the gas as early as you can for the long back straight. sort of 3 straights on this track that the last 2 right-hand corners really don't, you can get around them. So it gets back down through this slower section of the track with a double apex left-hander coming up here, get in on the curb, out into the middle, and then back in on the curb again before a slow right-hander and run back down another straight with another great camera angle for us there. The car basically driving over the top of us, so good work on the cameras. Come around and complete another lap round here. So minute 16 a lap. So looking at around 100 laps for them here tonight, where we've done 25. So that kind of makes sense. 70, 80 laps. 80 or so laps, I should say. Lee also another participant in our AEE series and a quick driver at the front, so doing double duty for us this week. Also going to have a little bit of golf coming up on the channel for you as well as we start to broaden what we stream. And just waiting on that one to turn up in the mail. The DHS bloke, my goodness, I hope not. The DHL bloke was supposed to drop that one off to me tonight, and then I was going to get into it after this one and bring you a round of that one, but not to be. So hopefully he rocks up at my front door tomorrow. We've got what else have we got on the way? Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. I can't wait for that one to come out, along with a bit of Pro Madden to come. And don't kill me. No, it's not Tiger Woods. It's just the old PGA. It's got, I believe there's some Happy Gilmore stuff that's gone into it as well, so it should be a bit of fun. And yeah, we've got that one. Oh, you mean you're going to play us? Well, we're actually planning a tournament, so you might be able to do just that. So we've got the golf coming. We've also got a little bit of what we did last night was Fall Guys. So just broadening the stream. iRacing still our core content, but looking into some of the other sports games as well. So they are on their way. We've got FIFA and celebrity match. Oh, you're going to get Corbett involved, are you? We'll get Corbett on to play a celebrity game. So yeah, there's plenty to come. We've still got a set of Corsa Competizione as well, which we haven't even cracked out of the box. We haven't done a lot of Formula 1 either, because every time we go to stream any of that sort of stuff, we've always got some racing on to bring you from iRacing, so not a bad situation to be in. And of course, the one that I'm actually really excited about as well is NBA 2K21. We pre-purchased the Kobe or Black Mamba edition of that game, so that's why we've been cracking out the 2K20 and trying to get that one done. Leave it in the box, you reckon? Yeah, well, we haven't tried it yet, so we're going to have a go at it. And yeah, got a few other bits and pieces coming too. So there's plenty of action to come. Of course, we do have our Retro Wednesdays when the old coronavirus decides to bugger off and let us stay out later in Victoria than we are able to stay out normally, so that we can broadcast that one with Reese when we go through and basically get beaten by just about any game we play. And we used to, we thought we were good at them as a kid, so we thought we'd play them again as an adult, and we've completely lost touch with how that actually works. So, some playthroughs and things like that. So, as I said, plenty to come. We are also working in the background on our Wednesday night esports show. So, look out for that one. We're hoping to get that off the ground before the end of the year. We'll basically bring you kind of like a Sports Centre style show, highlighting a lot of the main categories that run in iRacing or in the sports gaming side of things, and we'll bring an update on those categories and who's done what and where and how. And you've all seen Sports Centre. Might even get our plays of the week up into that one as well, so Just trying to get all this stuff done, and there's only so many hours in the day. As Andrew Duffy's had another off track there, we'll jump back on board with him and see where he is. So he's got Michael Skurlock coming up behind him, I believe. Oh no, that is a terrible, terrible piece of braking. But fortunately it doesn't look like it's caused too much damage for Skurlock. Looks like he just managed to avoid that one and get around it. Oh no, and Skurlock's just gone a little wide there and turn it back into the fence, so he's going to need to pull and get that repaired. That will badly affect the way that car handles. He's too early on in the race to get away with one more pit stop to manage his race through to the end, so that's going to impact on the outcome for him. He's got to manage it around now through these last couple of corners before he gets around to pit entry, and I'm sure we'll see him pull into the lane and get that one repaired. Thanks very much for the follow there, Gary. Appreciate it. So you can see that piece of that wing that was just hanging on there has disappeared off the front of that car, and Skurlock is going to go into the pit lane and get that one repaired. He hasn't had any damage before during this race, so he should be able to do a quick repair with that one. Probably see him top up with fuel while he's in there and then get back out into the race, so he may be able to short stop his last stop of the race with this little top up of fuel. Jump back on board with our leader, Lee Vandenberg, and see how he is getting around here undisturbed by the look of it. Cool as a cucumber. I really like that camera angle there that we've got happening. The car's just able to drive over the top of us. What's planned for the weekend in lockdown? I'm actually working tomorrow, Aaron. I got to go in for a couple of hours and then just spend some time with the kids and do a little bit of prep work. I'm driving in the 981 Carbon team on Sunday at the Nürburgring, so got some racing planned for the afternoon. Hopefully, as I said, golf turns up tomorrow if the DHL man gets on his bike. and there'll be a little bit of that as well. Otherwise, maybe some NBA 2K20 or something similar. Yeah, my kids want me to play a bit of Minecraft with them. We've been playing some Boomerang Foo, which is a surprisingly fun game, where you basically get to go around as a piece of fruit and kill other bits of food. So, sounds silly, is a little bit, but it's from Nintendo and the kids love it, so I'll play a little bit of that as well. It's actually a pretty good game. Disappointing that it's not online though, so I can't go around and do that online with others, but I'm sure Nintendo will get that sorted out. Probably got it in the list of things to do, along with sorting out Mario Party, which they royally screwed up by not allowing you to actually play Mario Party online. You only get to play the mini games, so that's very disappointing. So yeah, not too much. Thanks Musco, thanks for joining the stream and chucking us the like. Bad luck in the race earlier. I'm sure you'll bounce back from that one. As we've still got 59 minutes to go here, and my God, it's going to be a long one. So you just see Lee Vandenberg run wide there. Just picking up a little bit of dirt onto the track. But I'm telling you now that the PGA Tour game was delivered to a suburb not too far away from where I live right now, and hasn't moved there since 5 o'clock this morning. So I'm hoping that means they loaded up onto some bloke's van, and it'll be here waiting for me when I get home tomorrow. So yeah, and the other one I'm really looking forward to as well is Tony Hawk's, because it's a remaster of a game I played a lot when I was a teenager. I'm really looking forward to that one. So that should be good. Liking that idea of a celebrity match, Aaron. I think we'll have to give that a go. Definitely going to run a tournament or two that is in the works. And you know what? The other thing that we've got planned, I think giving DHL too much credit for delivery on a Saturday. Yeah, but you know what? I reckon they're so busy at the moment that they're probably doing it. So we'll see. Is it with DHL? I think it's with DHL. Why would JB Hi-Fi be using DHL? Come on, use a fucking Australian company, for crying out loud. No, it's with Toll. So yeah, it may well get delivered tomorrow. Toll, not DHL, because the logos look so similar. You know, we talk a lot about logos on this show, so but no, it's with Toll. Toll will deliver tomorrow if they've got it. We've had deliveries from Toll on the weekend. At the moment, they're actually doing a pretty good job, I think, given the additional volume that they're all carrying. Yeah, in for a chance. Let's see. The last golf game I played was actually Rory McIlroy on PlayStation. A couple of years ago I downloaded that. So, and I don't think they'd really made any changes to that game since I used to play it as Tiger Woods on the PlayStation 2. So, hopefully they've done a little bit to this one, given it's been a few years since Rory McIlroy came out. Anyway, we should probably get back into talking about this race that we've got on our hands at the moment, just to give everyone an update of what's been going on while we've been talking about everything but. So Lee Vandenberg's still doing a cracking job out in front here, lapping reasonably consistently, putting a bit of a gap on Chris Purnell behind him. Purnell now just about 11.5 seconds behind. Our race leader, Daniel Yemen, is in third position. He is 46 seconds behind the leader, with Michael Skurlock down in fourth place there. Andrew Duffy rounding out our top five. Actually got Polito and Klink up in 6th and 7th, doing a great job there. Both those drivers starting at the rear of the field, so doing a good job to get up and involved in this one. Chris Purnell has had a slight run off track there. I don't know if that was avoiding another driver at all, or if that was him by accident, just seeing him going past Andrew Duffy there. So perhaps that was the cause of his off track, as we've got 55 minutes to go in this round 2 of the A&NZ Indy Car Series, brought to you by ourselves, FGM ECast. AFTERSHOCK PCs, haven't spoken much about them. The Ryan and the guys at AFTERSHOCK do a fantastic job at building really awesome looking gaming computers, and not only do they look good, but obviously they perform extremely well as well. Our broadcast tonight is brought to you on one of those PCs, as we are unfortunately on board there with Purnell, as he has gone around in a pretty unsavoury spot there. And he's got damage to that left-hand front wing, the corner of the wing, so that is going to require a pit stop there. He will be very, very dirty himself. Having pit on lap 22, we're on lap 38 now, so only 16 laps since his pit. So he's 32 seconds in front of the guy behind him. It may be worthwhile him keeping on going. As you can see there, he is. And just backing out of it a little bit to get the car through to that second pit window, even if he is a little slower in getting there, because it'll help him. He is our race winner from round 1, where we were at, yeah, there. You can see there, just getting a little bit of understeer because of that damage to that front wing, and just struggling a little bit for pace. So he may well decide to bring that in, just so that he doesn't lose too much time as he gets around the track here. Closes right up again on the back of Andrew Duffy. So we're talking about AFTERSHOCK PCs and their contribution to this stream. So if you are looking for a gaming PC of any sort, wanting to get into iRacing and need some boots behind you, that is definitely the place to go. I know they've got some specials on at the moment as well, with some units that are definitely capable of doing the job of running iRacing for you, where I think they're about $800 or $900 for the PC ready to go. So jump on their website, have a look, and we'd love it if you'd support them. They certainly are supporting us in being able to bring this stream to you and do what we enjoy doing. So Ryan and the boys at AFTERSHOCK PC. No, mate, there's no 3080 Ti's in those computers. The definitely 2080s, but no 3080s. We are, of course, a Razer streamer as well. The headset I am talking to you on is a Razer unit that I have absolutely loved. Noise cancelling, and does everything that I need it to do to allow me to get the job done when I'm racing or otherwise. Yeah, if you're, again, Razer, you do get what you pay for. They produce some fantastic equipment, so have a look there if you're in the market for some headgear or even keyboard, mouse, that sort of thing. Purnell still going around not having had enough of that understeer in that car. Doing a good job to keep that out on track. So we'll just keep an eye on him. Daniel Yemen is about 18 seconds back down the road from him. He equally has the same bent wing, so not going to cause Purnell too many dramas, I don't think, in terms of trying to keep up the pace. League of Legends. Now, there is a very popular game. Never say never, but not something that you'll probably see on the ECast. I don't think there's enough people covering that themselves. And Chris Purnell has relented and has ducked into pit lane to get that wing repaired on the front of his Mazda, the front of his Dallara, I should say, and get that done so that he can resume in a more safer environment. That understeer around here is dangerous because there is plenty of area to hit the wall, and in fact, who is that? Duffy coming in behind him as well, so another driver in just for some basic repairs. Purnell's just done a splash dash, new front wing, and out he goes. Counter-Strike, that's a great game from when I was a kid. We used to play the old Team Fortress back in the day, Quake Team Fortress, before Counter-Strike sort of took over. So it's the sort of era I was from. A bit of Quake Online, loved it. Yep. No, there's lots of cracking games from back in the day. So we're talking, you know, mid-90s Quake Online. We were lucky enough that we had we didn't have ADSL then. We had a cable internet connection in New South Wales back then. So we had quick internet. We were able to game. I was gaming with my dad, and he was on that one. I was on the old dial-up with the old phone line. So as soon as someone rang, I got disconnected. But it was good. Yeah, the LAN on the computer room at Quake, you'd end up getting into trouble for that, as we just see. Unreal. Yeah, that was another good one. You know, a game that I really used to enjoy that they need to bring back out is Total Annihilation. I don't know why they, like Age of Empires and all that other stuff's still back out, but I wouldn't mind a bit of Total Annihilation as far as those sort of turn-based strategy games go. But yeah, Unreal Tournament was good. The old Duke Nukem. There was certainly plenty of those games back then that were awesome, as we start to see sort of the second raft of pit stops. Not sure what's going on here. Purnell. Oh, Purnell's had an off. He is back in the pits. Apologise again for the replay there. We're going to just have to switch back. It looks like he's had a spin. Yeah, he has. Oh, no. Oh, wow. So, yeah, so he's had a big off there. He's lost the nose cone and just dropped that one. So that's unfortunate for him. So he's going to be in pit lane for quite some time, having used up one of his fast repairs. He'll be getting a tow. There will be a fast repair for him there, and he'll get back out on track and get to work to try and catch back up. And yeah, I'd say we all are actually of a similar vintage. So the early 80s, late 70s, early 80s kids. So those sorts of games definitely need to make a retro comeback. I actually downloaded the new Wolfenstein and started playing that the other day, even though it's obviously released a long time ago, but probably doesn't have the same, just the same rawness that the original Wolfenstein does. Used to play on an old 286, which those of you in the audience will know about. A DX 286. He had a 386. I remember the first one in our neighbourhood got a Pentium back in the day, and it was just unbelievable, the speed of a Pentium back then. It's nothing in comparison to, you know, 10 core i10-7. What have we got on this? This thing's got a it's an i9 i10 10700 Lemmings on the 386, the old floppy disk. Remember when you used to copy a game for a mate on a hard disk back in the day? So yeah, plenty of that nostalgia gaming coming back actually, and that's what we do on a Retro Wednesday night. We've only got we've got a Raspberry Pi that's got a setup on it with all of those sorts of games on it from the first Nintendo, which was the first gaming system I had when I was a kid. So just seeing Vandenberg here, just trying to make his way past Andrew Duffy. But yeah, those systems back then, I certainly tell our kids now we've got access to 1 million games. We only had on our Nintendo 5 games, I think, for the life of it. Original Doom, yeah, it was so good. Had a mate with a Mac when I was a kid, and we used to play that. Maybe a bit of Mech Warrior as well, if you remember that one, where you get to go around as effectively like a mechanical dreadnought and damage things. That was a good game. What else did we used to play? You know, a good game we used to play was Micro Machines. It was a bit of fun on the PlayStation 1. And of course the original FIFA back in the day, FIFA 96, World Cup 98, with the Chumbawamba song? I get knocked down, then I get up again. You can't never going to keep me down. That was on the FIFA 98, World Cup 98. Dead or Alive, for those of you PlayStation players. That was the fighting game when those sort of 3D fighting games made their way to console out of the arcade. Paperboy. I've still not finished Mario 3. It's one of those things that's on the bucket list to get done, speaking of Paperboy. It's Michael Skirl now up into second place. There is still a motor race going on in the background here. He is 30 seconds behind Lee Vandenberg, and yeah, around about 12 seconds in front of Daniel Yemen. So these are the sorts of things that we do want to cover on our midweek show as well. So good to see there's plenty of people keen to talk about it, because we're certainly keen to talk about it. It's part of what I used to love. You're only legit. I was never allowed to get the PlayStation chipped because my parents were afraid, because it would avoid the warranty, and if anything went wrong, then we couldn't do anything about it. So no, I was lucky. We were able to save up the old pocket money and go out and buy video games when we had enough. So we ended up with a stack of video games. And speaking of video games, TOCA touring cars on the PlayStation was probably, other than obviously Gran Turismo, the original Gran Turismo, was probably one of the best early racing games, I reckon. There was a list that got put out. We put it up on our Facebook page not too long ago, as I just get a notification here that Daniel Yemen has had an off. So we'll just have a look and see if he did any damage to his car. Yeah, he has. He still damaged that front left corner of the car again. But TOCA touring cars, where you're racing the British Touring Car Series, and you had the Ford Mondeo, you had the Peugeot. What else was there? Audi. I can't remember. But that game was a cracker. And then onto PlayStation 2, as Michael Skurlock's had an off as well. So he's just got back on track, and you can see there his right-hand front corner damage. This was always going to happen in this race. It's a long race around here. But TOCA touring cars, that was good. And also, obviously, the Gran Turismo when that first came out. I remember I always used to, my car of choice, other than when you used to get into that Pikes Peak beast and just obliterate everyone, was the Mitsubishi GTO twin turbo. That was my my poison. It was either going to be that always, or you got the Skyline, or there was, I think the Mazda was in that one as well. So, and then at some stage I made a silly decision to buy an Xbox, and I still don't really understand why. I hate the controllers on an Xbox. They're the most uncomfortable things to manhandle. Oh, the 7.8. You're talking about the Mazda, Phil. The rotary Mazda. Thanks for joining us, Aaron. We appreciate it. We'll catch you next week, mate. F3 about to kick off. Boot up the sim. Good one. Have a good run. Yeah, that 787. I actually had a model of that when I was a kid that I put together. So I know exactly the car you're talking about. There's a video getting around of that thing. That's now restored, starting up and running. I run another page called Race Magazine on Facebook, and it is on there if you have a look back through the posts. But that Mazda is off the trolley. It sounds unbelievable. So we've still got Lee Vandenberg winning this one at the moment. Oh, nice. A little bit of brat. Love it. So Vandenberg 40 seconds up the street in this one. He's well and truly in control here of this race, as we've got 41 minutes to go in the event. So had our first round of pit stops. There's been a couple of drivers who's unfortunately had to do some repairs. Good to see Chris Purnell back out on track now. He had to do a few minor repairs to that one. Daniel Yemen there, you can see he's dealing with a damaged left-hand front corner of that wing, that front wing on the car there. He'll get that repaired when he goes back into the pit lane to do his final stop. Anticipating at this stage that's going to be around lap 60, so we've got about 10 laps to go until our final round of pit stops occurs. Some of the drivers at this hour 45 race distance may have considered at an hour 30 trying to manage fuel through to the end, but not possible with the hour 45 distance that we've got this week. So we're just toying around, for those of you who weren't on the stream earlier, with setups for this series in preparation for our main run at this starting in February next year. So just playing around with race distances a little. They do vary track to track at the main IndyCar game, the real life thing, which is what we're trying to replicate as much as we can. So next season, starting in February, the structure of our events will be extremely, as identical as it can be to the IndyCar calendar. Obviously some of those tracks not available on the iRacing simulator like Gold Coast, but we will, where we can, replicate it as closely as we can to the real thing. I'm going to run that through. So just toying a little bit with race lengths to see how many laps we get to and how close we are to the real thing. Getting through an hour 45 is around about the same as the real race distance on this track for these cars. So, but it may be slightly too long, just depending on the fuel stops. So Yemen here on the back of Duffy, who is actually running in 5th place, so making his way through the field. He's actually gaining on Gerlock, who is in front of him. Yemen getting the job done there around the outside, doing it cleanly. Scullock's still sporting that damaged front wing as well, so but not affecting him too badly there, as he is still up in 2nd position, and Lee Vandenberg still running away in 1st. Jump back and have a look at some of our other drivers now. Julian Klein-Bussink had a few early issues, but joining us from the land of the Great White Cloud. So welcome to him, and good effort to jump across the ditch and get involved in this one, as it's 10 past 11 there on a Friday night. So this one for him going to finish around midnight. Jump back a position into positions 8, and we've got Brad Klink doing a good job there. He unfortunately copped a little bit of early race damage, but is back on board in the Redback Race Team 576 car, currently running in 8th spot. So he didn't do qualifying this one, having driven already in our Pro Mazda race earlier in the evening, and doing a good job there to finish provisional second at this point in time, with a little bit of investigation going on into a incident that happened on lap 1 of that race, which basically took out 3/4 of the field, so they had to go through pit lane. So we'll see if there's any outcome from that after the event, but at this stage certainly did a strong job in driving from basically last back up to second place in that event. Along with Carl Barvik, who unfortunately has pulled out of this race after some early damage to his car. So we've basically only got 9 cars left on the field at the moment. Brad Adlam, this man here, doing his best to just get some time in the seat, joining us for the first time this week, and just get around and get some experience in this car. It's a difficult track to run at for your first time around in one of these, but certainly baptism of fire, and a good place to make sure you finish the race. You know, he's going to finish in ninth, so he will take home some points in this one. And that rounds out our race as it sits. So what I'm going to do now is I am going to take a very quick break. I have been sat in this seat for going on 3 hours now, so I'm going to stretch the legs quickly, and I will come back. I'm going to leave you on board with Ron Polito, because I know his brother Phil is watching the coverage. We'll jump in the car with Ron. We'll jump on the old roll bar and let him take you around for a few laps while I go and grab a quick glass of water and get ready for the last half an hour of this race. Alright, and we're back. So just see there that Brad Klink had another off, unfortunately for him, so we'll jump back on and see where he's at the moment. These cars are awesome to drive, I'll tell you that much. So we've got Lee Vandenberg still out in front. Chris Purnell is certainly making headway up onto the back of Skurlock. So he's 14 seconds behind here. So this battle will close up as we just see Skurlock go off there, and he is out. We've given him the old commentator's curse as we've jumped on board with him. So Chris Purnell will come through into third position. As Skurlock there back into pit lane, and he will what's he done there? I think he may have even jumped out of the race. He has. So end of the night for him, unfortunately, and that means that Chris Purnell will move up into third position, and now has got a job in front of him if he's going to try and chase down second. Daniel Yemen is about 40 seconds up the street, and still hasn't had that car fixed. So, has he done? Yeah, he's done his lap 43. So none of these drivers have done their pit stops yet. Polito did his pit stop on lap 46. So really, we've got all these drivers haven't been through the pit lane, but I don't think that any of them are pitted and done to the end here. Lap 44 is what is being indicated to me as the last time our race leader went through the pits. It's on now lap 60, around about 22 laps worth of fuel in these ones. So expect to see them maybe the fuel save. They definitely won't get past, we're looking at 6 laps there, minute. So they're going to have to put in a little bit of fuel here because they're going to have about 13 minutes to go before they make it back around. I think after this we might do a tiny little bit of Fall Guys if anyone's keen for it. So we're on board here with Daniel Yemen, currently in second place. 40 seconds back down the road, we've got Chris Purnell in third, having done a repair on that car. We should say a reasonable repair on that car. He had a little bit of an off and ended up unfortunately on his lid. So having to head back to the pits, but he's got his head down and getting to work on this one, trying to catch back up to Daniel Yemen. We've got one round of pit stops left to go. I suspect we will see in about 10 minutes the drivers come through for that last pit stop. Not going to need to be a full stop, as we've just had notification of Brad Klink going off again. There's a little bit of damage on the nose of that car. He'll keep going until his last pit stop on that one. He did stop on lap 54 actually, so he may be fueled to the end. So he will probably stick with it, I think, until the end of this one. We, if you have just joined us, Michael Skurlock did unfortunately crash out on lap 55. So, and this man here, Lee Vandenberg, has basically run away with this one. He's about a minute up the track at this point in time, so he is he's lapped every car up to and including third place. He's chasing down Daniel Yemen. He's about 15 seconds down the street. Or I should say Daniel's actually up the street because he's lapping him, so he's about 15 seconds up the street, and he may well lap the entire field in this race, which is an extraordinary effort on this track. So lap 64 now with just on 23.5 minutes to go. Good opportunity now to thank everyone that has tuned in. We've had an extraordinarily large amount of support for the channel since we started it just on 2 months ago. We've got... This is our biggest streaming month thus far. We're basically streaming 4 nights a week, if not 5 nights a week, doing basically iRacing content, but we are broadening our stream to... we're talking about it before. We've got Pro... PGA Tour, I should say, coming, which should arrive tomorrow, and once it does, we bring you at least a round of golf out of that as we get involved in that one. Looking to put on some tournaments as well, so do keep an eye out on our website for that. We're in the process of building a web page for that. I certainly can add a lab counter to the screen. I can bring that up for the minute, and we are redesigning this whole stream for our next season as well, but let me show you. So we're on lap 65 at the moment. I can give you an idea as well of how many laps or how much time there is to go. We'll just keep flipping between that. Might even instead, we'll switch over tonight to the old timing tower, which will show you there. Lap 65, we've done hour 22 of an hour 45. It's a little bit difficult to read there, but we are just working on that. It works for some of our streams to have the ticker across the top, particularly when we're doing NASCAR streaming. For this one, that writing there is a little bit hard to read, so I apologise for that. We are still working on the colour combo and a redesign for it. So, but you can see there, we've got a number of places the cars have jumped up and down, and then you've got the gap, which at this stage is laps. As they keep getting around, interval between them on lap times and stuff like that. So there's lots of other bits and pieces we can add to this. That one just a little bit hard to see, but we'll leave that up there for you for the minute, so you know what's going on and who is where. So I've had a few out of the race already, as you have just joined us, but definitely Lee Vandenberg putting on a masterclass here. He's going to lap the entire field at this rate, so a great drive from him that will move him up the standings. So as I say, there's plenty to come on the stream. We've also got some 981 Motorsport action, our very own race team, and that is on Sunday from 10 o'clock. We're doing a Nürburgring 4-hour race there, which I'm going to be racing in. We've got the Sebring 6-hour on as well next weekend. Our GT or Super GT Thursday on Thursday night. The Oz-Pro Am Sim Series as well on Tuesday night, and ANSCAR on ANSCAR Oval Track, or the Grand National from ANSCAR on Wednesday nights. And in between that, we do a little bit of Fall Guys and a few other bits and pieces as well, including some Boomerang Foo and retro gaming and all sorts of things. So we try and bring everything we can to you here, and obviously our iRacing series, we love bringing you with some commentary. So we've got Madden 2K21 on its way in the post as well, NBA 2K21. We do some NBA 2K20 at the moment, but looking forward to that Black Mamba edition of NBA 2K21 when that gets released. And then we've got some other what would you say, first-person games. We've been given access to the Necromunda game from the Games Workshop. So we'll have a playthrough of that when that arrives early September. There's lots of stuff coming out early September, so we're going to be busy there. And then late September, I think, or early October, we've also then got the new FIFA, which we've ordered. And I haven't played a FIFA game for I don't know how long, so that'll be interesting. As we're just watching Daniel Yemen pull into pit lane here, Lee Vandenberg also coming into pit lane to serve his final pit stop. And we also had Chris Purnell complete his pit stop as well last lap. So just watching where he gets to and how long this pit lane is going to take as Yemen comes out of the pit. So the gap there, 1:08. And Lee Vandenberg's still in the pits at the moment. Oh no, and straight out of the pits. Yemen has rotated that car and he will need to go back in. That has no nose cone on it whatsoever. So that's effectively going to put Purnell up into second place. As Yemen will have to be very careful making that one all the way around the track with no downforce in the front of it whatsoever. And I think it's Brad Klink who's following him around there. So doing a good job getting out of the way too. But Purnell will eat this gap up quickly. And you can see there Duffy going past him very quickly. So that's unlapping Duffy there, not for position. And that has impacted our race leader there. That was Lee Vandenberg, who unfortunately got caught up in that little incident. And this Yemen car looking very, very second-hand. So I'm not sure whether or not that's going to mean our race leader is going to need to pit. No, it looks like it was a little bit superficial, the damage there for Vandenberg. So that's good news for him as he makes his way around, because he has completed his 3 pit stops. No damage by the look of things to that car, as Yemen is pulling into pit lane now, and he hopefully has a fast repair ready for himself so that he can get that car repaired and back out on track. We'd like to see him finish the race and have a battle with Chris Purnell, so we'll keep an eye on him as Purnell does go past just there into second place. We'll be in how quick this pit stop gets done. No towing required at all there for Yemen, so that's going to help. Can't really give you a better view there of what's going on. So it doesn't look like he's got a fast repair left for that one, so that will be him out of the race effectively. So that means that we've got Purnell now up into second place. A good recovery for him. And Andrew Duffy down in third. So it's been a little bit of a race of attrition, this one. And I can guarantee you that the feedback from the drivers will be this one's probably been a little bit too long. And I have to agree with them, as we've got 17 or 16 minutes to go. With Duffy there moving up into third place. So don't be too surprised if in our next circuit race you see a revised approach to the way we have these races for the drivers, because at the end of the day for us it's all about putting on the best show for you guys, but also about putting on the best opportunity for these guys to race. So if they're not enjoying it, there's no point in doing it, because naturally then we won't have a show to bring you. It's disappointing for Yemen there. He had driven a really, really strong race up to that point in time. Brad Klink as well also is just pulling into pit lane now. Hopefully he saved himself a fast repair. His car's looking a little bit crab-like, and can get that one in and out. Might just be a little bit slow in getting those repairs done there. I don't think that he has. So the attrition has taken its toll, as we always expect in the last half hour of any of these endurance races we do. That attrition gets the better of everyone, and we end up with a reasonably exciting last half an hour. Of course, we generally try and start these fields with more than the 14 cars we started with tonight, but at this stage, unfortunately, we've only got 7 cars left. So even if Yemen doesn't do another lap, he's still going to finish inside the top 7. As we've got 15 minutes to go here. Ron Polito comes in from 4th place to make his final pit stop of the race. Again, another really good result for him. That'll be 2 4th places tonight if he manages to pull that one through and get to the end of the race. Interesting as well for those of you watching, I've just been had an alert come up on my screen that Williams Motorsport has sold its Formula 1 team to investment company or US investment company Dorilton. So obviously COVID there influencing the issue for them and pushing them forward to find a purchase for that team. So it's not ideal that that's the consequence of the of this whole COVID situation that we're in, but good to know that they're still going to be around. Yeah, no, I can't see the game chat, Daniel, but I did see we were unfortunately on board with you when that happened. So we were hoping you might have another fast repair, but unfortunately not. You're still actually going to finish reasonably well, even though you're not going to finish the race. So bad luck for a cracking drive for your first run in our series. So we look forward to seeing you back in a fortnight for our first oval track race at Pocono, which will be a little different to tonight. Probably been a little bit long, the race tonight, given the volume of the field. But thanks for coming along and participating as always, Daniel. We appreciate it. Yeah, it was. It's been a tough race. It's been a pretty tough race. So, a good drive from you to get up into third place. Into second place and be consistent. But you're not alone. A couple of the other drivers as well who've wrecked did the same thing coming out of the pits. They got out onto turn 1 or turn 2 really, and just over rotated and damaged the car. So you certainly weren't alone in having that issue. Combination of track temps and cold tyres probably contributing to it more than anything. You're actually on to potentially finish inside the top 5, Daniel. We've only got 10 minutes to go in this one. No, so you'll finish 6th. So yeah, it's a bugger that bounce. Absolutely, that bump on the outside of the track there. It's just that's why I like this circuit. I said at the start of the coverage, it's a love-hate relationship with this circuit. It's so challenging to drive, but when you get it right, it's a really rewarding track because of how close you are to wiping the car out if you don't get it right. So. You live and you learn, but as I said, thanks for participating. We definitely want to keep building this series up so we end up with plenty more cars on the track. And it's always the way the early participants help build the series, because of course without getting the 12 to 15 cars out on the track to start off with, we don't get the engagement from the other people who'd like to jump on. We've had a few people message during the stream saying they want to get on board and join as well. So the series will continue to build. This is only our effectively our trial season before we get into the full picture, which you're aware of next year, where we are going to run a full season over around 5 months at the start of the year, starting February. So keep on plucking away, mate. It'll keep getting better and the series will build. Just have a look at some of our other series if you want to see how they turn out. We generally manage to get them to work, so this one hopefully will be no different. So Vandenberg is a minute 39 up. He has lapped the entire field, so he has put on an absolute masterclass tonight. Chris Purnell currently in second place, about minute 39 back around the track, or he's a lap and what, 20 seconds down on Vandenberg. W there, yeah, Lee's done a fantastic job. Just avoided a little bit of an accident earlier on, and has run a really clean race. Andrew Duffy in third. Ron Polito done a fantastic job as well in fourth in this car, doing the double as he has finished our Pro Mazda race in fourth, and he's going to finish this one in fourth as well at this stage, because he's 5 minutes in front of Brad Adlam, who hasn't actually had any incidents tonight, hasn't done anything. He has done his best to keep out of the way in his first race in the series, and just to keep circulating around. And as a result, he's going to pick up a 5th place here. So congratulations to you, Brad, for doing what you're doing as well. So a good first outing for you. And then as we speak to the man in the chat, Daniel Yemen finishing, he's going to finish in 6th. Brad Klink, another man doing the double, in 7th. And then Julian Kleinbusink in 8th. And then rounding out our 9th and 10th places are Michael Skurlock and Dominic Mellett, who also both had, unfortunately, succumbed to cold tyre issues and had some incidences as well. So massive amount of attrition in this race, with only a third of the field remaining at the end of it. You can see there on the track map, there are 5 cars out on track here with just on 7 minutes to go. So these drivers will certainly be looking forward to a cold brew of some description and a little bit to eat at the end of this one. It's been a long one. Good time for me to mention again our partners in this event that we put on, Aftershock PCs, Ryan and the crew in central Victoria, or central Melbourne even, based out of St Kilda in Melbourne, building computers locally. And certainly they put together, we went to them and said we need some computers that can stream and do all the things that we need them to do and run all the bits and pieces that are pretty intensive in putting this stream together. And they came back and built us an absolute whopper of a machine that not only does the job but looks awesome in doing it, with a bit of lighting and a clear case and all the bits and pieces that go into building computers these days, not like we used to back in the day when you'd pluck together a 386 or a 486 or a Pentium or something like that. And customer service actually to boot. We needed a computer at really short notice, as one of our other computers that we used to restream blew up, and they built us a top spec computer inside 5 days, which is the computer that I'm streaming to you from now. And it hasn't skipped a beat, so we're really appreciative of what they did for us back then, and has such massive amounts of respect for the customer service levels from the guys at Aftershock. So if you are looking for a new PC, that's the place to go. If you're looking to go quicker, one man we haven't spoken about too much tonight, Chris Purnell, running in second. He is the virtual motorsport mentor. So if you're looking to go quicker, as Chris says, all champions have good coaches behind them. So if you're looking to go faster, Chris Purnell is the man to speak to at Virtual Motorsport Mentor. He is running tonight in one of these. He was driving earlier on tonight in a RSR Porsche. yesterday in an Audi in preparation for the Nürburgring 4 Hour. So he does a fair bit of the V8 supercar training as well. So really, just about anything that you are interested in running, he can help you go faster in, whether you're just starting out and it's getting your equipment set up properly, or if you're just looking to try and gain that last half a second that you need to be at the front of the field, he is the man to speak to. So virtualmotorsportmentor.com is the place to find out more information about that. We are a Razer streamer, and as always, we appreciate everyone's support on FGM ECast. Still looking for a sponsor for this series as well. If you are looking just to sponsor a race series as opposed to be a channel partner like those I've just mentioned, then drop me a line, stuart at FGMECast.com. We do tailor-made packages. We are backed by Ferguson Group Media, and therefore have the ability to put together any kind of production. Thanks very much, Julian. Appreciate your participation as well tonight, mate. Obviously not going exactly the way that you wanted it to, but as a foundation of this series, we appreciate it. Yeah, very tough. And look, the timeline didn't help either. An hour 45 is really harsh. So, you know, to get to lap 64 of what's probably going to be an 84 or 83 lap race is a good result. We'll see you back stronger next week at our oval track event at Pocono. So we've got, where are we now? 3 minutes to go. So we're going to do around, we'll probably get 2 laps in, I think, with where we're at the moment on the track. And as I just mentioned, we are off to Pocono next fortnight for our first of our oval track runs in these cars. So look out for that one, Friday fortnights. This is a fortnightly series that we run. Most of the series now that we run, we are a fortnightly affair because they take a lot of preparation for these longer format races. It's not a matter of just baseline setup and getting involved. Albeit some of the drivers do it that way, but a lot of these guys spend a lot of time in the cars getting them prepped and ready to go for whatever. Oh, as we've seen, Lee Vandenberg, even Lee not impenetrable in this one as he just taps the wall there. So see if that affected him too much. To be brutally honest, he is a full minute 38, a full lap and a bit ahead of the next car behind him and has not used any of his fast repairs. So even with that, he is still well and truly out in front. Thanks for like there, Skurlock, as well, Michael. That unfortunate for you to cop that late on in the race as well, mate. So good drive. Welcome to the series, and looking forward to seeing what you do next fortnight at Pocono. So the deal definitely will be 2 laps to go because he'll finish this lap here and there'll be around about 30 seconds left when he crosses the line. So thanks very much for the late likes there, guys, Jaron, and we appreciate it. So these races being time certain races, and Dominic as well, thanks very much. These races being time certain, our oval track races will actually be by laps. Obviously yellow flags there as well, so if we did it by time, there's every chance. Oh, thanks, Carl, appreciate the follow. Oh no, and it's again just the late race tiredness just showing a little bit there for Lee. So but yeah, the oval track stuff, if we end up putting that on for an hour 45 or an hour and a half, it can end up going for 2.5 hours if there are enough yellow flags and enough cars. So we run lap certain races there instead. Thanks for the like, Braden. Oh, and the follow instead, actually. Thank you very much. So this will be the... We're going to get the last lap here. Tim, thanks very much for the follow. Logan, thanks for the follow there. Just trying to work out whether or not we're going to finish. This will be the last lap of the race. So we'll get through this back section of the track here. Lee Vandenberg will not be disappointed to be getting this one done. So I think we're getting caught up on a few of the follows there from throughout the broadcast as they all start coming through thick and fast. Something wrong there with that. So apologies for that in the background. And timing us there just with it saying don't forget to support the stream as Lee Vandenberg brings it round and takes out the win for round 2 here. This a very, very long event for these drivers, and he's done extremely well to take out this race by just over a lap from Chris Purnell in second and Andrew Duffy in third place. So congratulations to them. Ron Polito, big finish for you, mate, coming home in fourth. Congratulations there as well. A cracking job for you doing the back-to-back duties, and you've done really well. And Brad Adler, mate, good job as well, coming home in fifth, as we just see a huge burnout here from Lee Vandenberg. Yeah, Phil, he's brought it home in fourth, mate. He's done a ripping job over the 2 races tonight, so well done to him. Done some tram tracks for us there, and Chris Purnell bringing that car around safely as well. He's just going to pull that over as Ron Polito here comes around to finish his last lap of this race and bring that home in fourth. We'll stay on board with him as the old alert box is just going berserk. Carl Barvik, thanks for the like there. Just wondering if Ron was running out of fuel there. He's pulled straight into pit lane, so I think he's going to be okay. Alright, I might see if any of the drivers are interested in a little bit of a chat here as this thing keeps going off in my ear. And yeah, they all are there in the green room. Brad Klink sitting in there for some reason as well. Bring these guys in. How are we, guys?
G'day, how are we?
Oh, probably a little bit better than you. A long, long race.
Yeah, I might actually wake up sore, so thanks for that.
Yeah. No, look, the hour 45, definitely a little bit too long around this track, we were saying in the stream. But a fantastic drive, Lee. Basically untouched until about a minute and a half to go there. We managed to give the wall a little bit of a bump, but a fantastic drive, dominating the pack by over a lap. So congratulations.
It was it was so tight in qualifying, and everyone's I think everyone's sort of put a bit more work in this week, so it's a lot tighter than that lap would suggest anyway.
Yeah, I mean, when we saw that in qualifying, there was a fair bit of time there where we actually had 1 or 2 drivers on exactly the same lap. Doing a ripping effort, and a little bit disappointing. The field was slightly thin for this one, so we'll keep working on that during the week, but it doesn't take away from the drive that you put in.
Thank you very much. Thanks for putting it on. It's great to have this series running. It's great. Thank you.
You're welcome. And Chris, a good drive to come back to second there. Unfortunately, Michael Skurlock coming out of it a little bit late on as well, but managing to take home that second place.
Yeah, a little bit disappointed. I probably went the wrong way with the car tonight. Everybody seemed to have a little bit more straight line. I think I probably put a little bit too much error on the car, just a few silly mistakes as well. So happy with P2, but I think if I actually tidied up my act, probably wouldn't have been as far off a lead, probably 20 seconds. He definitely had the pace tonight and he deserves the win. So congratulations to Lee again and Andrew for finishing on the podium. But yeah, I'll tidy up for Pocono next time.
And Andrew, like as Chris said, a good drive for you to come home in third place as well, mate. Congratulations.
Just drive to survive tonight.
It certainly was a race of attrition. We started with 15 cars and we only ended up, unfortunately, with 5 finishing the race. So definitely a race of attrition there for everyone.
Very tough race. Lee made it look easy though, didn't he? Chris too, great pace. I just second half of the race was a lot better than the first. Just ended up driving to keep it off the walls.
And so Pocono next week, our first, next fortnight, our first oval track race. What can you guys tell me about what we can expect to see there?
Pretty much a complete rank amateur with the ovals. Done a few NASCAR ones just to sort of get the license up. So it's going to be a big last week, a big learning experience, I think.
It'll be fast, out of control, and the aero draft will be amazing.
That's what we like to hear. That means it's exciting for us to watch. That's good.
Unfortunately, we'll miss that one because I'll be working, but I'll be tuning into the broadcast to see what's happening.
Ah, very good, very good. That's disappointing, unfortunately, but you've got to earn a crust, don't you? So iRacing's always secondary to that.
Yeah, until someone starts paying me to do it. Yeah.
That's it. Yeah. Well, we're working on it, mate. We're working on it. This is definitely the step in the right direction. So we'll do the best we can to get you there. No, well, obviously, thanks very much, guys. I know it can be a little bit taxing, the duration, particularly when I stuffed up putting it an hour 45 or an hour and 30. So we'll have a look at that, get some feedback from you guys about which direction you want to go in terms of the length of the feature race, and be back in a fortnight for a lap fixed edition at Pocono.
Thank you very much.
Look forward to it.
No worries.
Cheers, buddy.
Cheers, mate. So that about wraps us up for this evening. Thank you to everyone who's kept me company on the stream. I always appreciate it, as do our streaming partners. And we will see you. We're going to do a 981 Carbon broadcast on Sunday from the Nürburgring. That won't have commentary. It will just be you all watching me. Hopefully make my way around the Nürburgring reasonably competently in the Audi. So and then back again on Tuesday night for the Oz Pro-Am Sim Series. So plenty to come, and in between there'll be other bits and pieces. So do keep an eye out, jump on our socials, and keep a watch for what goes on FGM ECast, your place for pace, and we will see you again soon.